If you run a home service business and are manually creating your jobs in Jobber, then you're wasting time, and I've got the fix. Imagine whenever a new request comes in, without even having to lift a finger, the job gets created in Jobber automatically and is scheduled. No delays, no manual entry, just seamless automation with Zapier and Google Sheets. Hi there, I'm Josh Jackson. I build hundreds of automations for businesses like yours, helping them save thousands of hours. Here at Josh No Code, we build custom automation solutions. So if you're looking for a tailored solution for your business, I'm dropping our information below in the description, so feel free to get in touch with us. And here's a bonus. By the end of this tutorial, I'll show you how to check if the customer exists in Jobber first, so that you can avoid creating duplicates and keep your data clean. Stick around and let's jump into it. So here we are in our Jobber account, and you'll notice that we don't have any jobs created just yet. But if we head on over to clients, we have 5 client test files. And what we're going to do is we're going to build an automation, specifically a Zap in Zapier, that's able to automate the job creation process for us. And the way this is going to work is we have a worksheet in Google Sheet to watch for incoming client requests. And whenever the new row is added to the Google Sheet file, the Zap is going to trigger and it's automatically going to create our job file for us. And while this is happening, it's going to associate this job with our existing client. And the workflow is also going to be able to handle new client file creation and associate those new jobs that are created with the new client files created. So the other thing to mention here is from the app marketplace, you're able to easily add the Zapier connection. So that's what you're going to need in order to make this happen. You're going to need to add the Zapier integration and connect it with your Zapier account. So this is our Google Sheets file, and this is where our job requests are going to get added to in order for them to essentially be created as new jobs in Jobber. So the worksheet is subdivided into 2 sections. You have columns A through M, which just represent the job information. And then you have columns O through W, which just represent the client information if we are going to create new clients. And all the columns in this worksheet are just going to get mapped to their respective fields in Jobber, whether it's a client or whether it's a job. And then the last 3 columns here that you see, B, C, and D, they just serve as reference columns. So when the job gets created in Jobber, the Jobber URL and Jobber ID and Jobber job number are just going to get added from Jobber to these respective columns so that you can reference your job between the 2 platforms. So here we are in our Zapier account, and this is the Zap that we created to handle all of this for us. So zooming in here, this Zap triggers whenever a new row is added to our Google Sheets file, and then the Zap attempts to find an existing client file in our Jobber account. And if it finds an existing client file, then it takes this path off to the left. Here, we're just formatting a start time and an end time into an acceptable format that Jobber can take. And then step 7 creates the job file in our Jobber account, and it associates it with the client that was found in step number 2. And then step number 8 here just updates the row in Google Sheets with its unique ID and the job URL. Then off to the right here, we have a path to handle the scenario if the client does not exist in Jobber. So here we want to create a new client in our Jobber account. And then step number 14 is going to create the job, and it's going to associate this job file with the new client file that was just created in step number 13. And then step number 15 is essentially the same as step number 8, where just updating that existing row with the Jobber reference information. And that's basically it. So this Zap is currently live now. So let's go ahead and test this. So in order to test this Zap out, we need to trigger it. And in order to trigger the Zap, a new row needs to be added to this Google Sheets file, which is connected with our live Zap. So to make our lives a little bit easier, we already have some test data prepared for us. So we're just going to copy the rows from this spreadsheet and we're going to paste them into this Google Sheets file right here, and that's going to trigger the Zap accordingly. So the first test we're going to do is going to be row number 2, external ID number 1. The client name is Roger Test. Roger needs a roof replacement and a complete tear off and install of new shingles on March 1st. And this job is going to be done from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the name of the line item is shingle installation, just a quantity of 1, and it's $10,500. And this is an existing business. So this client file already exists in our Jobber account. So there's no need to create the new file. So if we head on over to Roger Test, you'll see that this is the client file and there's no active works, no active jobs, invoices, or quotes for this client yet. And now let's test job creation. And there we go. So we pasted a new row into our Google Sheets file here. And from here, the Zap is going to be triggered. So let's just go to Jobber to see if the job got created. And then we can check our Zapier logs and I will walk you through the exact actions that got executed. So looking at Roger Test, we still see it says no active work. But if we refresh the screen right here, now we see that there is active work. We can see that there is job 1, which is the roof replacement. It is indeed scheduled for March 1st. And we have the property address and the job value right here, $10,500. We have it on the schedule too, which is great. So if we click that, we can see the scheduling information for the visit. And we could also click into the job right here. We could get more job details. So we could see that this job type is one-off. We have the start and end date, the billing frequency added here. We have the line items, which we have the shingle installation. We have the visit. And if we go back into our Google Sheets file right here, taking a look at this, look what we have. So we pasted this information into the Google Sheets file, which triggered the Zap. But what's great is that we have information now from Jobber, which is unique to the Jobber job. So we have the Jobber job number, which is 1. We have the Jobber ID. But perhaps the most important thing here is the Jobber URL. This is basically your link to your Jobber work order, which is plugged right in here into the Google Sheet. So if we click that, boom, it takes us directly to our job in Jobber. Taking a look at the Zap, we can see a successful run right here off to the left. Let's click that. And now we can see the Zap run in real time. So we can see that it actually took the left path right here because the client existed in Jobber and you saw that. So before running this, the client existed in Jobber and then we ran it and it just created a new job file within that existing client file. And why did it do that exactly? So we can see here on step number 2, we have this variable right here, Zap search was found. It's actually true. And in our filter conditions, you can see right here that it's going to only take this path if this variable, Zap search was found status, exactly matches true. And it was true. So that's why it continued. So why did it not take this path off to the right? Well, we could see here that our conditions are the opposite. So Zap search was found status exactly matches false, and it was true. So true does not exactly match false, which is why this right branch did not execute. So the next job request that's going to be tested here is going to be row number 3, which is external ID number 2. The client name is Daniel Test. Daniel needs a shingle repair. So as far as instructions, it's to replace damaged shingles and seal leaks. It's going to be done on March 2nd from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And this is a shingle repair, quantity of 1, going for $4,500. And Daniel is actually a new client. Daniel does not exist as a client file in our Jobber account. So we have Daniel's information here. We have his company name. We have his street address line 1, street address line 2, Daniel's city, his state, the country, his zip code, and we have his phone number and his email address here as well. So let's copy Daniel's information here, or his job. Let's go into our live worksheet and let's paste Daniel's job. So here we are back in Jobber. We see that we don't have the new client that's added, but let's go ahead and let's refresh here. And now we can see that we have a Daniel Test. We have Daniel's address, and let's go ahead and click on Daniel's file right here. And we can see that we have Daniel's contact information. We have his phone number. We have Daniel's email address. And we also have the job that was created within Daniel's file. So we have the shingle repair. It's given job ID number 2. we see that it's scheduled actually for March 2nd. And then it has the price of $4,500. So clicking into it, we can see that it has all the information from the Google Sheets file. Everything is here. It also has the visit that's automatically created. And we click that, we can see this is the visit for the shingle repair. Going back to Zapier, we can see that we have this successful run right here. And let's open it. And we can see now that the right path was taken because this client didn't exist in Jobber. Why did this client not exist? Well, we can see that the Zap search was found status is actually false. So Zapier did not find an existing client file in the Jobber account. And taking a look at our configurations here for the path, it's going to continue if Zap search was found status, which was false, exactly matches false, which is what it was. So that's why I took this branch here and it created our client file and it created our job file within the client file. So this worked exactly how we wanted it to work. And heading over back here into our live file, we can see that we have all our reference information. So everything is good, everything worked. We could click on, let's just make this a little bit bigger here. If we click on our work order right here, it brings us directly to Daniel's job. So everything worked as intended. So we're good to go. And that's a wrap, guys. Now you know how to automate the job creation process and the customer creation process in Jobber. You can take these actions, put them in an automated Zapier workflow, and trigger it whenever you receive a new job request in Google Sheets. And just like that, the entire process is gonna be automated for you. What's one thing that you're currently struggling with in Jobber that you'd love to see automated? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. If you got value out of this video, make sure to smash that like button. And if you want to see more tutorials on Jobber automation, make sure to subscribe to the Josh No Code YouTube channel. Well, that's it for now. And keep optimizing, keep automating your workflows to become more efficient. And we'll see you in the next tutorial.